The human being is a social being and cannot live alone. And for this reason the success of social networking sites is a great success as a result of the human desire to communicate with others. And thus the definition of social networks has great importance in linking the human and the outside world, and the process of communication is the process of linking among them, which contributes to the human being on a great deal of solidarity and cooperation. And this is what contributes to the person having an easy life for all. The process of social communication is the process through which a person is connected with others in the social environment, in addition to continuous communication with neighbors, friends, and acquaintances in order to achieve various benefits that benefit the person on a personal level and benefit society fully, determined as a result of different types and different depth. There are many things that are achieved through social communication, including the relationship between a person and others, which improves significantly. And there are many relationships that contribute to the disclosure of what is inside a person, and also increases his confidence in others, which makes him aware of the relationships around him. Social communication has become the general means in the current era of dealing with others. As a natural result of the spread of various social networking sites, in addition to the spread of various means of communication that made the world closer to us, but what is wrong with these sites is that they are more superficial and made relationships less intimate than previous eras. Relationships between people tend to be effectively antisocial as a result of the interest in social contact. Also, social media was the reason for providing the opportunity to express all opinions and ideas freely in full. In addition to accepting many ideas that fall between the opinion and the opposing opinion and presenting strange and unusual ideas so that individuals can identify them. And social media has made it possible for many owners of talents to appear in addition to the possibility of displaying their talents and attracting the attention of others to them. In addition to the spread of digital marketing operations on social networking sites, which contributed to achieving many sales. But the daily use of the Internet and social networking was the reason for the emergence of many problems, especially as a result of the excessive process, and it became necessary to stay away from those sites that led to the emergence of cases of social isolation at all ages, and the distance from those websites became similar to quitting drugs. He suffers from anxiety, depression and other problems. Communication is the process and action carried out by a person in order to convey many things such as information, ideas and messages, through the transmission of news in one community as a result of the presence of many common relationships. And in psychology, communication processes are likened to the process of throwing billiards. As a result of to push it, it collides and bounces again, and this confirms that every action has a reaction. There are also those who define social communication as the process of exchanging different connotations, the main objective of which was to continue to interact well between individuals at all levels. Of course, social networking sites today are those sites that pose a great danger to children, and this is what prompted parents to worry about using these sites. And there are significant negative effects represented in children's use of these sites on a daily basis and access to many unwanted sites. In addition to not acquiring any of the social skills that are supposed to be learned at this age, and since the 3-year-old children have been interested in these sites, especially YouTube, Modern statistics remind that young people today are no longer interested in studying as they do in those sites. Especially children between the ages of 14 and 24 years. And attention to these sites has led to a state of isolation, feelings of depression, anxiety, weakness of the body and a state of loneliness. Teenagers today are so preoccupied with these sites that interest in them has increased so much that they use them in schools and do not dispense with them except at bedtime. And even mobile phones have become indispensable for connecting to the internet, sending many text messages and sharing with others. The researchers and specialists also emphasize that these social networking websites lead to many problems for girls. And they also lead to communicating with others without their knowledge, which puts them at risk. And therefore we should not leave them without taking into account the research behind what they publish. In addition to that, most of the head scientific has proven that the void in which girls fall is what leads to feelings of vulnerability. In the conclusion of a scientific research on social communication, we must make it clear that social media, like other modern means, has many positives and many negatives. Therefore, we always advise doing various in-depth studies on these sites and their impact on young people. In addition to recognizing the importance of family planning for a number of hours of use of these websites and a clear focus on them in order to satisfy the various natural motives of use that are not free from the mind of any young person or child. Youth issues, problems and challenges. It is necessary to know all the information related to social networking sites and their importance and danger to young men and girls. And therefore these sites should be used through the positives only and not through the negatives. So I wanted to end this research through the ideal tips and instructions for social networks.